Welcome back to the Resolute Life. If this is your very first time with us, welcome aboard. You're about to take a powerful first step toward a life defined by fulfillment, achievement, connection, and resilience. iLife lives with different values and principles. Maybe you've heard our podcast on Apple or Spotify. Maybe you've read one of our blogs or followed us on social media. However you arrived, we're glad you're here, and we hope the content has given you clarity, courage, and direction. If what we share resonates with you, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about. Share it with someone searching for more. This journey becomes even more powerful when it's shared. Everything you'll hear today is drawn from the book, The Daily Life of Resolute Beings Live with Intent. You can pick up a copy on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or through our website. If you're serious about growth, it's a must-read. Also, hit that subscribe button and get notified the moment our next video drops, so you can keep moving forward, one resolute step at a time. Today we are going to talk about the reason why most people today struggle to find fulfillment, success, and connection. According to The Daily Life of Resolute Beings Live with Intent, one of the main reasons we often live such shallow, empty lives is because we become trapped by following the misguided, manipulative ideologies of our time. Ideologies that teaches us to sacrifice our purpose, resources, and relationships on superfluous and shallow matters. Let's take a look at how we live our modern lives. It is a fact that we frantically pursue a false sense of prestige and success, one that is built on materialistic values. The relentless conditioning of our minds, that starts from the moment we are born, have convinced us that our self-worth is tied to external measures such as wealth, status, physical attraction, and hedonistic pleasure. We offer our bodies, our souls, our time, our money, and even our families on the altars of the gods of wealth and status, in the desperate hope of their recognition and approval. Our ambition is driven by selfish motives such as greed, fear, shame, and guilt. Greed to have more than our neighbors. Fear that we might lose our status in the group we compare ourselves to. Shame that we never seem to live up to the unrealistic expectations that is placed on us. And guilt driven by the feeling that we are continuously disappointing those close to us. When we don't compare favorably on some unreachable external metric, we blame our situation on past or present circumstances. We become bitter and belligerent individuals that would rather see others hurt and degraded instead of flourish. Even when we somehow succeed, we never have enough. We feel empty even when we have it all, due to this unquenchable thirst for physical and social satisfaction. In total desperation, we tirelessly work to impress others, and try to gain acceptance by living up to unreasonable expectations. We rob our children of their childhood by forcing them to perform at levels never intended for innocent beings. We allow our daughters to mutilate their bodies to try and copy the Photoshop look of role models they see on TV and social media. Our sons sell their values and corrupt their character for a few extra bucks. That will allow him to buy the same car as everyone else in the neighborhood. By the time our children reach adulthood, the virus of this value system has gained full control over their existence, driving them to keep staggering forward, living a very mediocre life. Crushed under the weight of unrealistic expectations, millions try to escape the torturous whips of popular culture by handing themselves over to the hell of substance abuse. They have found it better to live in hell, halfway conscious and comatose, than experiencing it fully conscious and sober. The rest of us live in a zombie-like state, totally bereft of meaningful life, after years obsessing about wealth and status. Compelled by our addiction to serve the expectations of others, we aimlessly wander this earth without meaning, without purpose. Totally exhausted and deprived of any hope. This type of living is called the mediocre lifestyle, because it always leads to mediocre outcomes. The cycle of the mediocre lifestyle goes as follows. From childhood, we are taught a certain set of values, and are expected to exhibit certain behavior in line with these values. Driven by fear, for example performance anxiety or fear of rejection, we dedicate ourselves to meeting these expectations. However, regardless of how hard we try, we never seem to live up to them. Our perceived inadequate performance leads to private disappointment, as well as public disappointment in the eyes of the custodians of expectations, which normally are our parents, peers, or authority figures. The result of this disappointment is individual guilt and shame, and also collective guilt and shame, like when parents become ashamed of their children, or families become ashamed of other family members. The toxic cocktail of fear, guilt, and shame leads to even higher expectations, and the vicious cycle continues. Everyone living a mediocre life is controlled by the following rules. 1. Always chase materialistic wealth. Do anything you can to have more things or bigger things. 2. Life is a contest, and those with popularity and status are the winners, the rest are losers. 3. Physical attraction is very important. You must look a specific way for others to like you. If you don't meet these standards of attraction, you are less desirable and have less worth. 4. Relationships and people are resources. If you cannot gain an advantage from someone, they are not worth the trouble. 5. Hedonistic pleasure is the ultimate reward. Your wealth, status, popularity, and relationships must be exchanged for as much pleasure as possible, and as quickly as possible, instant gratification. All of what we said in this video so far is the sad news. The fantastic news is that by living the daily life of resolute beings, you can break this ferocious cycle of a mediocre lifestyle by freeing yourself from its oppressive value system. The resolute lifestyle obliterates our current concept of meaning, success, and accomplishment, and replaces it with the freedom to follow our own destiny. It opens our eyes to our ultimate purpose as individuals, and our collective purpose as humankind. It teaches us that success is not measured by materialistic concepts such as wealth or status, but in the meaning-giving matters of intent, resourcefulness, and connectedness. We learn to shake off the shackles of the past and propel ourselves out of our current circumstances towards an accomplished future. It breaks the cycle of disappointment, guilt, and shame that is driven by fear, and replaces it with an awareness of our shared humanity. The resolute lifestyle is grounded on a different value system, a different way of looking at the world. It is not about wealth, status, physical attraction, or pleasure. The resolute being values living with purpose, making the best of what you have, and connecting and helping others. The culmination of a resolute life is living an impactful existence through expanding the energy of intent. By living according to a different set of values, you break free from the weight of expectations that the world is trying to place on you. The resolute life is also about a different understanding of performance. Performance is not measured by meeting or exceeding external benchmarks, but by continuous internal growth. You don't measure yourself against others, or even the expectations of others. You measure yourself by your development of the 3 principles. Are you moving closer to achieving your personal purpose? Are you getting better at optimizing your resources? Are your relationships becoming closer and deeper? Lastly, the resolute life has a different view of disappointment. Failure is not a sign that you are inadequate. It is not a sign that you are hopeless or helpless. Rather, failure is an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to do things differently, an opportunity to grow. In the next week, challenge your current worldview. Break yourself free from the mediocre worldview that has been forced upon you. Break free from the cycle that keeps you trapped in a cycle of shame and guilt. Adopt the worldview of the resolute life and live the life of fulfillment, achievement, connectedness, and resilience that you always wanted. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember to subscribe and to share this video with others. Check out other content on our website, socials like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, podcasts on Spotify and Apple. Also, join our WhatsApp channel for daily inspirational quotes. And if you have not done so yet, get your copy of The Daily Life of Resolute Beings Live with Intent today. In next week's video, we will unpack the 5 dimensions of human existence. See you next week. Live resolutely.